obviously you had to go through changes and you had to review your business a few times. Um, the two biggest changes that you had to make in this 5, 6 years that you've been busy, what are those changes?
Sure. Well, always look at what you're doing, because you know why you're doing it.
Hmm.
In order to stay uh, ahead of your customer, you always expect feedback from them, so you know what to work on. You have to look at new products, expanding new lines. If test products, if it doesn't work, try it differently. So it's always trying to create and establish new customers with different products. Depends on where you are, what your client base is. So basically, what we're doing is I'm roasting my own coffee
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the machine I have is quite old and it's not electronically. It's all analog systems, and you have to test with a lighter. So the system it's complicated to teach someone.
But it's real. It's the real
It's real.
deal.
Yes, of course.
That's how you roast coffee.
You feel coffee. You don't roast it. You feel where you are at
Oh,
at
fantastic.
the phase.
Hmm.
That I know it's very important to get a good. When you start with a good product, a good ingredient, you know the end result will be the same.
And I've seen the passion that this guy has to roast his own coffee. It's a process.
Yeah,
It's by no means an easy process. I will bugger it up quite easily.
yeah.
But watching you roasting your own coffee is really, it's poetry in motion almost.
Yeah.
Now, you've also done a couple of absurd things, if we can call it absurd. You've combined ice cream in a coffee shop, which is not typically a place where you find ice cream.
Yeah,
Why?
it's almost like fire and ice. With coffee being a very high commodity, which you need the product.
Mm.
Ice cream, or what I've done now is I've uh, had an idea of collaborating with a different company, which creates the gelato. It's not ice cream; it's completely different.
Okay. So
It's a very good quality product. So by having a good product complementing, well, in contrast with coffee, you can give your customer hot days, you can give them nice milkshakes, gelato, and cold days coffee and everything that goes with that.
mm.
So it's having that fire and ice contrast.
And that brings me to, and you also started making some of your own brownies and cinnamon buns, and we'll talk a little bit later on that. I think you brought some for us to show. But I'm just thinking, when we spoke about the changes that you've made, and will continue to make, is you scan the environment, your customers. You always check for what are the things that the customer will need without them even knowing it. And I mean, the ice cream has become part of your product offering. So typical classifications that drive these changes would be things. The guys talk about the 4 triggers of change, which are environment, business relationships. You've spoken about those. Technology, people. The 3 dynamics, which guys talk about for strategic change. Again, environment. Then one of the things that I'd like us to talk a little bit more about, life cycle differences, political power changes inside your organization. Life cycle differences. How much impact did that have on the environment in which you operate your coffee shop?